How you doing, guys? It's Richie. Predator versus Spider-Man. So I picked these up because I enjoyed Wolverine versus Spider-Man. It's just fun. It's not ground-breaking material that I'm going to be rereading over the years, but who knows? I might, unless I give it away, I might revisit these at some point. So right out the gate, I'm not crazy about the art. It suffices and it tells a story. Benjamin Piercy writing, Marcelo Ferreira on the pencils. So it's typical New York City. Summertime, Predator story. Heat wave. They always seem to show up when there's a heat wave. You know, blackouts are happening, and this detective is on a crime scene, and the typical Predator hung body upside down. But this one's got his skull and spine intact. And they're wondering what is going on here. And looks like some type of serial killer. A missing rib and a missing finger. Seems like he's taking certain pieces off of the people he kills. And he skins them, and he wears the skins kind of like Ed Gein type thing. It's pretty cool splash page. Looks nice. So typical J. Jonah Jameson's hating Spider-Man. Spider-Man's hating J. Jonah Jameson. Same thing that's been going on for the last 60 years. He sees these guys robbing a bank, and Spider-Man gets involved. And of course, there's kids running in front of a car, and Spider-Man saves the kids. All typical Spider-Man stuff that he does in every other issue. This one's turning a little darker. He stumbled upon a scene. I don't know if he thought he was going to a drug deal or what he had. Split up the cash quick. Nobody talks for 2 weeks, understand, and turns around and all the guys are dead. So he whips out a machine gun and boom. Well, that's a crazy panel. For a Marvel comic book, you have to admit it doesn't really get that crazy, but man, even here, down here is pretty wild the way this is drawn. Typical Predator style, drew the heart from behind. But he's not taking his spine, he's taking his face. Kind of Texas Chainsaw Massacre type thing going on too. We're dealing with a serial killer, no kidding, Pete. Goes back to J. Jonah Jameson. It turns out Mary Jane is on the subway. And, of course, there's a blackout. But there's something on the train. Maybe they're fixing the track, she says. And then the old aye. Yeah, he's just wearing everybody's... That's like... That is real creepy, man. Maybe the art ain't as bad as I'd originally thought. Those pages are pretty cool. The guy does good gore, good horror. Maybe, I don't know. What do I know? So now the detective and J. Jonah Jameson are fighting. She thinks he knows something. He thinks she knows something. You know. Spider-Man's out looking around. And this guy is about to get robbed. Why is he selling papers in the middle of the night? That's odd. Don't be among the hunted. Read all about it. This guy's walking around selling Daily Bugle at what, midnight? Who does that? So they try to rob the paper boy, and the Predator shoots him through the hand. Man, and he shoots the other guy in the head with an arrow. Jeez. Oh no, that's not Predator. Look, it's Kraven the Hunter. So you know what he wants. He's seeing what's going on, and he's gonna want in on the fun because he's a madman. Issue 1. Not bad. I like that last panel with Kraven. All right, so issue number 2, same team. Benjamin Pierce. Yeah, I'd never really read a lot of his stuff. I saw there was some kind of Wolverine run, but my trust in Marvel Comics and DC Comics. Well, DC Comics is doing better, but Marvel Comics story-wise, I don't know. It's just not hitting home for me. Too much strange stuff going on. So, workers are sent out in the train tracks. And man, look at all the blood. The guy opens up one of the subway doors and his body's hanging from everywhere. And of course, he's like throwing out, predators throw their voices, help me. He goes, you, what happened? What happened here? And then he reaches up and pulls off the skin, and there's the predator. So Mary Jane's on the train, and she's very nervous about now. So the detective comes around, and she's tracking down what's going on. She catches a scent of Parker and shows up at his apartment. And meanwhile, he's in the Spider-Man outfit. Another trope. They're banging at the door. Spider-Man's in his outfit. Either he jumps out the window or he changes real quick. Just a typical superhero, old school. This is pretty cool. I like that. A little hard to make out. But if you look, you know, and then as he's swinging around, and boom, the last one, you see the infrared from the Predator. And there's Kraven. He's inspecting the scene. I've been bored, so very, very bored. But now I think I am not so bored. Are worthy of Kraven the Hunter. You don't care about money, you care about flesh and blood and bone. Well, Kraven's, you know, crazier than a shithouse rat. I guess ever since he buried Spider-Man that time. And then shot himself. How the hell is he here? Didn't he shoot himself in the head? In front of Spider-Man? Anyway. So, now he's in on it. To him, this is fun. And the cop wanders into the crime scene, I guess, to go over it again and finds this maniac dressed up in, like, tiger fur. And he just disarms her and slaps her. Oh, no. She almost shot him. But he throws her around like a rag doll, like what would definitely happen. So he says, so here you should stay while I go hunting. You are brave but stupid. Brave and stupid get you killed on a night like this. Spider-Man knows about you, my prize. This is more than a hunt. It's a race. I always liked Kraven, man. Green Goblin and Kraven when I was a kid. One of my favorites. So they're on the train and they stumble into the Predator's, the crazy Predator, into like his little man cave here with skins all over the place, hanging, bones, and, you know, typical madman stuff. Jonah and Peter and this other guy are going back and forth. And what do we have here? Predator spaceship with 3 more. Now the 3 Predators are hunting the crazy predator. They don't like when their own go off half-cocked and go against they're very traditional. They have their rituals, and I've read quite a few predator stories, and I remember seeing the movie, well, it had to be 87, 88 maybe, late 80s. I mean, a good friend of mine, we went to go see it. I think I was a senior in high school. So it's still a blackout, and they're back at the Daily Bugle looking around, and Peter's spider sense must be kicking in, so he knows something's coming. This is a nice page too. So he pushes Jonah into the elevator to get him out of there, and then right through the window, here comes 3 predators. Puts on his outfit, and now they all start sneaking around. This is what the hunting party had come for, a blood trail. So they're tracking Skinner. I guess that's the nickname they made for him. Here they are for one of their own, the one the humans call Skinner. He has left his mark across the city. And they're not too happy about that. So here they go. They see him, but this was like, what is this? I don't understand. Look at his back. Is that his back? And what is this indentation? This just doesn't make sense to me, unless I'm not. It's almost like when you chop down a tree and you take a wedge out. Like, what is that? Nobody saw that? That looked wonky? Is it just me? I don't know. So they're fighting. And the city almost has the power back on, but Craven decides, no, we're going to keep it dark. So I think he just killed these 2 guys. He shoots an arrow right into the electrical panel while they're sitting there, and then kablam. Yeah, these guys have to be dead. Wrong place, wrong time. Craven don't care, though. Oh, he wants this hunt all to himself. So over the last few days, the crime has ranged from a nursing home in Harlem to a tiger habitat. So he skinned this tiger. They think it's a grizzly bear. And it says this is very eerie and very unlike a Marvel comic. No one is safe. And they show a child's playground with blood all over it. You would never see something like that in the 80s. Or the 90s in a regular Marvel comic. So they're pushing boundaries, I guess, and I guess they're not concerned about younger readers. Just us old 30 to 50-year-olds reliving our childhoods through our comic books. And that is what it is, and that's fine. But they should make comics for kids, man. Come on. Otherwise, you're going to run out of readership. Anyway, below New York City. So they find this bum. And here we go again with the help. So he's mimicking someone who was asking for, he's throwing his voice. And he's saying, be quiet, we're in his lair, he's coming. Oh my God, no. Stay down as long as you can stand it. And he pushes him off the side into like a pit full of rats. So the rats are freaking out, and they're covered, the girls. The predator can't tell. But, I don't know. He doesn't have a helmet. So how is he able to see like this? I thought they had to have the helmet on. Stay down, stay safe as the guy gets one through the chest. That's another thing. Anybody who knows about Predator, do they have naturally able to see infrared? Or was that only through the helmet? I thought it was just through the helmet. Anybody knows, put it in the comments, please. And Spidey's still tangling with the other ones. And he's doing real good against them. He rips the helmet off of one of them. I think the the webbing is screwing these guys up. They're not used to that. 2 down. Spidey sense is giving me a mean tingle. J. Jonah Jameson's office just blew up. And one of them got thrown out the window, covered in webbing. But he got out of it right in front of J. Jonah. Doom reigns supreme. One world under doom. I heard that's horrible. How do you screw that up? Well, you know what they're doing? They're like outsourcing their artists, and I don't know, some of these storylines. I think all these editors, most of them, should be shit canned. How do you ruin a franchise that's been going since 1963 or 61? How do you just completely almost destroy it where no one's buying anything? I know people are buying variant covers, but they're not buying to read. And that's what's going to keep people in, man. They got to just pay these creators a decent wage, stop going to Brazil for talent, and get it going, man. Nobody notices in their corporate, like, wow, we're losing tons of money. You have to be. Anyway, rant off. So, they're fighting. And who pops up? Skinner. The killer of prey and predator alike. So he's killing his own, and that's a major no-no, I think, amongst them. I think. So we got some action here. Another explosion. And then Craven now. Craven's got... Skinner runs away, that's right. So... he's thinking he's going to destroy their ship. And it might be easier for him, whatever his thinking is. But Craven's standing on the ship. And they're going at it, stabbing each other. Craven gets the last stab. And he takes his head. Wow. And the wrist with the mini bomb on it. And Craven knows he's screwed. He can't get it. What is he going to do? So then Spidey tells him, cut the arm off. He cuts the arm off, webs it up. Goes out to the water, chucks it in. Saves the day. So, Craven's still back here. No, there's 3 more predators. Or 2 more predators. There are more of you. Great panel. That looks great. You know what? This guy's artwork has grown. When I first read it through, I was like, eh. But now that I'm really looking at the art, this is nice. This panel right here is beautiful. Maybe I was wrong about the artist. But then you come to here and I don't like this. I don't know. To me, that's just, I don't know. It doesn't do nothing for me. So, they both got away, Spidey and MJ. Back to Craven. And he's got Craven by the throat. And he throws him over his shoulder. Oh, no. That's the other guy. So, what is this? Why did you free me? When will we will face each other, Crick. I admire your honor, because he thinks he's going to get killed. But they mark him. You know how, like, when predators get, like, accepted in, when they go through their trials, Craven was just being spared. Wasn't just being, he has been branded as the ultimate killer, a bloodied warrior, a great hunter. The Predator says, a great hunter. And then he says, come and get it. I think "Come and Get It" was what Arnold said, didn't he? Or maybe not, I don't know, in the movie. They're gone, we're safe. I wish I believed that. Let's enjoy this while we can. That's all she wrote. Just a fun story. Art growing on me a little more than my first read through. Just a fun story. And I recommend it. I'm liking these. I haven't read Black Panther versus Predator. Maybe I'll pick that up next. But anyway, I've been talking too much. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.